I want to quickly talk to you about Prosper versus Discover versus Upstart personal loans. So this will be a quick compare and contrast between those three providers of personal loans. And we are speaking about a maximum loan amount of $50,000. Okay. So here are the lenders I want you to really pay attention to. I'll first start with Prosper, and then I'll talk about Discover, and then I'll actually finish with Upstart. So when you think about Prosper, I want you to remember two numbers, $2,000 and $50,000. So that's actually the interval, the loan interval that Prosper actually services. So Prosper will give you loans that go from $2,000 all the way to $50,000, and you have to repay the loan within 24 to 60 months. So we are speaking about 2 years all the way to 5 years. Okay, so that's pretty decent when you think about it. And the APR is kind of decent too, because you are looking at 9% all the way to 36%. So if you have let's say if you have a fair FICO score, you can expect to have anywhere from 15% to 18% when it comes to APR, which is, again, we are speaking about something very decent. The minimum credit score that Prosper will accept is actually 590 all the way to 640. Now, the difference, the delta in the minimum FICO score actually has to do with the state. So states have different requirements, loan requirements. So Prosper also has adapted its policies to state regulations. So depending on where you are at, you might actually you might be entitled to have a low minimum FICO score or a slightly higher minimum FICO score. Okay, so 590 to a 640. And but in the end, I want you to think about Prosper as not as a direct lender. So Prosper is actually a peer-to-peer lender. So basically, there are investors who are willing to work with you, are willing to actually finance your project to approve the loan for you. But Prosper does work with a partner bank called WebBank. So WebBank actually is the institution that services the loans. Okay. But if you are thinking about Prosper, you have a lot of possibilities in terms of use of loan proceeds. You could use the cash for a vacation. You can use the cash for a wedding, for a birth, or for let's say for an emergency. So you have a lot of flexibility here. I want to talk to you about where Prosper personal loans actually stand out. So Prosper actually has a great online experience. So if you're thinking about Prosper, the possibility to borrow $2,000 to $50,000, and the possibility to do so through because Prosper is a fintech, right? Meaning they do everything online, by the way. So you have a great online experience. You can actually borrow online, through the website or through the apps, through the Prosper app. And Prosper doesn't have prepayment penalties, so that's pretty good. So again, this adds to the flexibility I was talking about a little earlier. So, and as a matter of fact, Prosper will refund to you any unearned portion of the origination fee that's over 5% of the original principal amount. By the way, Prosper does charge an origination fee that goes from 2% all the way to 10%. So that's a little disappointing. But hey, listen, they're not the only one doing it. A lot of players in this space, they do it. They do it too. And also, one thing you will love with Prosper is that you have joint loan applications. So Prosper does allow joint loan applications, something that other players don't do. So this is kind of good. So if for any reason you want to have a joint loan application through Prosper, you can do so. There are some areas where Prosper actually falls short in terms of personal loan. So the origination fee that I just spoke to you about, right? They charge like one or 2% to a 10%. That's kind of high, and the percentage depends on your credit worthiness, and you do have a high maximum interest rate, like 36%. There is no auto pay discounts with Prosper. Okay, so sometimes you really need to know if you are thinking about getting a discount through them. But overall, if you have any questions, it's always better to call customer service 1-866-615-6319 from Monday through Friday between 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific for questions about a pending loan application or questions about an existing loan. Okay, and you can also contact support at prosper.com to have more information about your loan application also. Okay, but overall, this is a great sort of loan provider. So I want to talk to you now about Discover. So when you think about Discover personal loans, I want you to think about basically loan amounts that are a little less. Like Discover is not giving you like any loan amount like that goes all the way to 50 grand. Discover is capping you at 40 grand. Okay, 40 grand. So you are speaking about $2,500 to $40,000. So that's really the interval, the loan interval you're looking for when it comes to Discover. But Discover actually shines because it gives you a longer time period to repay the loan. So you are speaking about 84 months. 84 months, that's pretty powerful. You're looking at 36, 48, 60, 72, and 84 months. So here, like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and 7 years. So that's pretty powerful. And so loan amounts again 2,500 to 40 grand. But the good thing is that Discover is available in all 50 states. I mean, Discover is known for it's a wonderful credit cards, but it's also a great player when it comes to personal loans. So Discover is actually available in all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii. I'm saying including because a lot of those lenders they actually like to work with continental U.S. But Discover is actually available in also those two states. Okay, so that's pretty good. And you can use Discover personal loan for that consolidation, home improvements, auto repairs, medical bills, vacation expenses, wedding cost, adoption and fertility cost, small business expenses, and so on and so forth. Okay, and you are not actually permitted to use a Discover personal loan for post-secondary education, repayment of a secured loan, or repayment of a Discover credit card. So if you need cash to actually go to school, for instance, it's better to get a student loan. As a matter of fact, Discover does offer student loans. So if you qualify, you can get a student loan to actually pay for your education. Okay. Now, when you think about Discover, the APR is kind of decent. You are looking at the 7% all the way to 25%, way lower than what Prosper is actually offering. Like, because Prosper is charging you a maximum of 36%, while Discover actually has a maximum of 25%. Okay, and you also have a 30-day money back guarantee. You have direct payment of creditors. You have payment flexibility, and you have a credit scorecard if you go with Discover. So when it comes to qualifying for a Discover personal loan, what you want to do is you want to really click on, you want to go to the Discover card, or you want to go through the mobile app, and you want to click on something called, you want to click on a button called check your rate. That actually will kick off the pre-qualification process, because that's what you want. You do not want to go through the loan application process like blindly. You want to first go through the pre-qual and see how much you could potentially qualify for, and then if you like the numbers, then you can really apply for real. Okay, that way you can preserve your FICO score and make sure that you do not actually keep reducing your FICO score. So one thing I want to say here is that you want to always make sure that when you go through the pre-qual, you get a series of offers from Discover, and if for any reason you are not like comfortable or you're not sure of how much you can qualify for, you can always just call Discover. As a matter of fact, you can call. I mean, the pre-qual process can be started also online, also over the phone. You can call Discover and have and talk to a rep and ask the rep to actually run a soft pull for you and see how much you can qualify for. Okay, and so once you actually are comfortable with the numbers you are presented, you are able to actually complete the application. Just remember though that basically Discover, unlike Prosper, does not allow co applications, does not allow joint applications. Okay, Discover personal loans are only available to individuals. So co-borrowers and co-signers are really not options. So this is something to really keep in mind, especially if you have like really bad credit, because Discover will consider you if you have a FICO score minimum of 600 to actually qualify. To qualify you, sorry about that. To qualify you about a Discover personal loan. One thing I also want to say here is that Discover, once you are approved, they actually they release funds real fast. Like within 24 hours, they will wire the money to your bank account. If you have an account, if you have a checking account with a Discover Bank, they'll just wire the money internally, internally to your account, and that's even faster. So the third player I want to share with you into this conversation is Upstart. So when you think about Upstart, I want you to think about a lender that's very, very generous in the sense that Upstart is giving you anywhere from 8% to 36%, kind of similar to Prosper. The only difference is that Upstart is not a P2P platform. Okay, Upstart is actually a fintech that actually processes loans. Loan amount you are looking at 1,000 all the way to $50,000. But Upstart has this peculiarity in the sense that it will actually look at you if you have a no credit score, if you have no credit history. In other words, you have a minimum credit score of 300. Upstart will work with you. So that's really good. And but the cool thing is, Upstart actually considers more than the credit score. They use a non-traditional approach to lending that allows consumers with less than perfect credit scores or thin credit histories to qualify. So Upstart uses AI to evaluate loan applications and considers factors like education and employment. Okay, but with Upstart you have a fast funding timeline, so that's pretty good. In other words, you can be approved real fast. So if speed is really important to you, then you want to really love that. Now, Upstart does charge an origination fee that's even higher than what Prosper is charging. Prosper maxes out at 10% when it comes to the origination fee. Upstart is going all the way to 12% maximum. So that's really high. Okay. In other words, you're giving a lot of your cash, a lot of your loan approval to Upstart. But when you think about Upstart, you have funding possible within one business day. Bad credit or inexperienced borrowers may qualify, and you have the option to change your due date. On the flip side, there are no options for joint loans or co-signers. You have a lender who charges an origination fee, and you have limited loan term options. Okay, so that's something to really think about. And also with Upstart, you got to have a minimum income of $12,000. So $12,000, that's what you need to have if you want to qualify, and you need to have a personal bank account. You need to have a verifiable identity. You need to have a valid email address. In terms of qualifying for an Upstart personal loan, you have a similar process than what Discover really has, in the sense that you want to first pre-qualify for the loan, okay? But even before you pre-qualify for the loan, you want to really go to annualcreditreport.com to really see, to really check your credit. It's important to really see where you are at, to have an idea before you want to start. That way, you can see whether or not it's actually worth it to go with Upstart at all, okay? And this is kind of cool. And you also want to look at the budget. You want to look at your budget, your family's budget. What are the uses of funds, cash inflows, cash outflows? Do a quick analysis to see the delta. So every single month, what kind of disposable income do you have? That way you can see whether or not it's worth it actually getting a loan from Discover, okay? Not Discover, from Upstart, okay? And so once you check your credit and sort of pay attention to your budget, you want to pre-qualify for a loan. So Upstart, like Discover or Prosper, does have a pre-qualification sort of feature on its website or even in the mobile app. So you have the possibility to actually pre-qualify. So once you pre-qualify, you'll receive a series of offers, and if you like a certain number, a certain offer, you want to formally apply. But now, once you formally apply, you are going to get a hard pull. Just be aware of that. So don't be surprised that you get a hard pull. Okay, this is totally normal, and you want to close on your loan. Pretty straightforward. No time wasted here. And Upstart is really fast. Once they approve you, once they have reviewed your application, you are going to get your cash real fast. Now, one thing I want to say here is that don't forget to sign your loan agreement. So once you've signed and closed on your loan, you can take Upstart as little as one business day to fund your personal loan. And if Upstart denies your personal loan application, it may be time to seek ways to improve your chances of getting approved for a loan before actually coming back, okay? And this can involve checking your credit report for errors, cutting down on any current debts you have, and boosting your credit score, okay? And you gotta have that. Yeah, otherwise you're not going to be able to survive. Think about it. So let me give you the selection here: Prosper versus Discover versus Upstart. Which one should you really choose this year? Which lender is best for you? Let me first talk to you about how to get a personal loan. Because regardless of whether you get a loan from Prosper or Discover or Upstart, you got to really have a method. You got to have a methodology in place, an approach that allows you to actually get your loan real fast and actually go to the right lender. Okay, you always want to review your credit score and finances. That's what I said to you a little earlier when I said you want to really go to annualcreditreport.com to actually sort of see your the possibilities you have, and you also want to make sure that your finances are in order. I'm not saying your finances are healthy; they may not be, but they want to be. You want the data to be in order. Okay, and when you go to annualcreditreport.com, you want to look for common errors such as an account that is not yours or even an incorrect delinquency, and you want to dispute any errors with a credit reporting agency. And you also the next thing you want to do here is that you want to choose your loan type. So Prosper, Discover, and Upstart, they all have several types of loans. Choose your loan types, and this is kind of cool. And you want to research lenders. Research actually other lenders such as Avon, such as SoFi, such as Livestream. So don't just stay to those three, okay? And you also want to pre-qualify with multiple lenders. You want to pre-qualify with multiple lenders because this is how you're going to see how much you can qualify for, okay? And also it's good to know that you have to understand that the APR includes the interest rate and any upfront fee, like an origination fee, and can be used to compare loan offers better than just interest. Now, how do you compare lenders? Well, think about customer support, think about the qualification requirements, think about the rates and fees, right? That's really important. Think about the repayment terms, think about the lender reputation, think about the loan amounts and use cases, and also think about the joint application allowance and secured loan offerings, as well as digital tools. Okay, digital tools are really critical also, and also think about park uh, like your ability to have perks and discounts if you could go through this specific lender. So here's the approach here: Prosper versus Discover versus Upstart. Which one should you really go for? Well, our choice is pretty simple. You want to go with Upstart. Upstart gives you a loan no matter your credit score. You are looking at, even if you have 300, Upstart will give you a loan. Something that Prosper may not do or Discover may not do, because they want you to have a little bit of credit history, but Upstart is pretty flexible. And you also have a maximum loan amount of $50,000, so that's really good. So, in closing, to this conversation, I spoke to you about Prosper versus Discover versus Upstart. I give you the lenders, the selection, and now the approach. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.